Jays, and the era of wholeness. In a faraway land, where mountains stood tall and the ocean stretched endlessly, there was a village called Sukoon. The people of Sukoon believed in the era of wholeness, a time when everything would be complete and harmony would rule. It felt like a distant dream, but they had faith it would come one day. Jays was a young shepherd who lived on the outskirts of Sukoon. He spent his days taking care of his sheep, wandering the green hills, and staring at the stars at night. Unlike the other villagers, who waited patiently for the era of wholeness, Jays decided he would go and find it himself. One evening, as the sun set behind the mountains and the sky turned shades of orange and purple, an old traveler passed through Sukoon. He looked weary and aged, but wisdom sparkled in his eyes. The villagers gathered around him, offering him food and water, and asked where he had come from. "I've traveled from beyond the mountains," the traveler said. "I've seen many things, but I'm searching for the era of wholeness, the time of perfection." Jays' heart raced. He stepped forward and asked, "Did you find it?" "The era of wholeness?" The old traveler smiled gently. "It's not a place, my boy. It's a state of being. It happens when people live in unity, care for each other, and cherish the world around them. But achieving it isn't easy. It takes hard work, courage, and love." Jays found this fascinating. He decided he would bring the era of wholeness to Sukoon. The next morning, he entrusted his sheep to his younger sister and set off on a journey. With only a little food and the traveler's words echoing in his mind, Jays traveled far and wide. He crossed rivers, climbed mountains, and walked through dense forests. Along the way, he met different people: farmers, artisans, warriors, and scholars. He listened to their stories, learned about their struggles and dreams, and shared his own. Wherever he went, he left behind a little kindness. After many months of traveling, Jays returned to Sukoon. The villagers were amazed to see him. They thought he was lost forever. But Jays was no longer the same boy who had left. He had grown wiser and kinder. He gathered the villagers and told them about his journey. He spoke of the people he had met and the lessons he had learned. "The era of wholeness," he said, "is not something we wait for, it's something we create together." Inspired by Jays' words, the villagers began to work together. They helped each other, protected their land, and shared their resources. They planted trees, built schools, and looked after one another. Slowly, Sukoon began to change. The air filled with laughter, and the fields flourished with crops. The villagers realized that the era of wholeness wasn't a distant dream, it was in their hearts and actions all along. And so, Jays became known as the boy who brought the era of wholeness to Sukoon.